All right, welcome everybody. Tonight is Tuesday, March 29th. Craziness. Can't believe it's already almost April. So tonight we're going to have Devon Hardel on with us to talk about failing forward. She's a 2-star, 4-star combined diamond coach, team leader, and I know she has a very successful business and some really good tips to share with us all. So first I want to do an intro and just some announcements. So we'll do that first, and then we'll head into the meat of our call. All right, so this is, we have a few more days left for the March specials, and I actually believe that they are extending it until April 4th. So, watch for the sales throughout the day on the 4th to come off. So if you have anybody still, hanging on to these awesome deals this month, try to get them done with by the 3rd, I would say for sure, because you never know on the 4th when they're going to be done with. So one thing that I've been doing is really talking up the 3-day refresh. I'm on day 2 of it myself right now and just sharing my results, sharing my meals as much as I can. Today was hard for me, I'm not going to lie, so I got to post about that. But, it's $140, basically $10 with a person's Bake Shakeology. So that's how I've been marketing it, $10 with your Bake Shakeology. It's at the lowest possible price. And then, 22-minute hard corps. I'm doing that program myself, so just sharing my workouts with that program as well to also hopefully inspire other people to get going who are busy, who don't want to spend a ton of time on workouts. It's super effective and it's fun. I love that it's 22 minutes. I just can't get over that. I feel so spoiled doing a short workout like that. So I don't know how many of you guys are doing it yourself, but it's always a good way to get interest is by doing it yourself and talking about it and sharing it. So if you're not, you might want to think about doing that for April. We have a sneak peek into the April challenge packs. So I'm really excited that the Masters Hammer and Chisel is going back on sale. That was probably one of my favorite programs. So that's really good. And then the Performance Challenge Pack, same thing. If people don't want to use Shakeology, they can do the Performance Pack as an alternate. The Club and Shakeology Challenge Pack, they're adding the portion fix onto that this month. So that was really exciting to see because so many people need help with nutrition and maybe they don't have the 21-day fix but still want to benefit from the meal plan of the fix. So it's the club membership is 3 months of on-demand streamed workouts with the Shakeology and then also the portion containers. And then the Kickstart includes the 3-day refresh. So that's an add-on for only $40 more. They can add on the 3-day refresh. So it's a $20 discount about if they want to add on that 3-day refresh. And then the Ultimate Reset is a nutritional program for some of you newer coaches who maybe don't know what that is. It's 21 days, I believe, 21 or 30 days of just focusing on your nutrition. So there's no workouts. And maybe Devon, you know more about that one. This is one I have not done myself yet, and I've kind of toyed around with the idea of doing it, but I just love to work out, and I can't imagine taking a whole month off of workout, so that's why I haven't done it. But for someone who just needs help with their nutrition, maybe they're not really doing anything normal or regular with their fitness routine, they just simply want to solely focus on their nutrition, that would be a good recommendation for them. So you can go into your Coach Online office too and learn more about what that would entail. But that is on sale. It's the most expensive program Beachbody has. I've maybe only sold 1 or 2 in the whole time that I've been coaching. But again, I haven't done it myself. So that's why I don't have a lot of interest. It's really not my market. So, if it's something that you want to do, people who do it have more interest and they get, people inspired to try it. So educate yourself on what it is and you can decide if you want to do it along with your group for next month. Just a reminder, the Success Club incentive this month is that Beachbody Performance Sampler Pack. So it's a single serving of each of the workout supplements. If you have not tried the Beachbody Performance line yet, this would be a great way. It's a free way for you to get it and try it, and you can talk about it. I love it. I use the Chocolate Recover and then the Energize. I really love. So those are the 2 that I use, and I have quite a few customers and coaches using it. But again, if you haven't tried it, you don't want to spend the money on it, it's a great way for you to do that. And also, I purchased like 4 of the sampler packs for gifts for my customers. I'm going to do that for April. Anyone who uses a challenge pack, they're going to get their own performance sampler pack. I think they were like $15 or something with my discount, so I didn't think it was too much. Announcements for Team Fit4mation. We're having some groups starting up next week that I want to let everybody know about. I start my new coach training academies every first Monday of every month. So April 4th, that will be starting up for a new coach, or if you need a do-over, if you've gone through training and just, kind of lost got lost in the group, I want to start you over fresh in that group on Monday. For anybody who's gone through the new coach training and still wants continued support in a training group, I'm running a 3 vital behavior training also starting on Monday. And then the other one that's really exciting I wanted to let you guys all in on is there's a 30-day diamond or star diamond push with the Dream Team coaches. So a lot of the elite coaches on the Dream Team wanted to partner up together and run this group for our entire downline. So the requirements to join into that group, we need everyone to have some skin in the game. So 4 active coaches or more, and to hit Success Club this month. So we have 2 days left in the month. So we need to make sure that, you're building a team and building a business and you're serious. So when you meet those 2 criteria, that tells me that you are a good candidate to join in this group and we can help you. So if you are interested in participating, make sure you get in touch with your upline sponsor coach. And I'm going to have an application for my personally sponsored coaches to join into the group. So your coach or whatever, work with that out. But again, the requirements for everybody are to have 4 active coaches and to hit Success Club this month. And share that with your teams if you want to participate. March Success Club is looking awesome this month. We are so close to beating our record from last month. Just love to see all the people we're helping. I look at this and it's a ton of names, but even more importantly, it's like these are lives that we're impacting and we're changing. And hopefully these, customers that we're helping will be inspired with the results that they get to turn around and coach and even help more people. So good job so far, you guys. Let's keep working and finish the month strong. There is a live power hour tomorrow with Royal Republic at 11:30 Central, and I think I posted that in the Team Fit4mation. So if you're needing help with conversations or how to reach out to and connect to people, make sure you're joining in on those live power hours. There was also one last night with the Dream Team that was really, really good. So that's all I got for you. I'm going to hand it over to Devon at this point. And then I can advance your slides for you, Devon. Just kind of give me a nod or whatever, and
okay,
go from there. So
sounds good. All right. Well, I think everyone on here knows me, but I'm Devon Hardel, and I started coaching a couple years ago. Actually, my 2-year anniversary is this month, which is just insane. But I think as a new coach, a lot of us see. We do a lot of Googling and research and following other coaches, and all we see is that success. And so as a new coach, you're comparing yourself kind of off the bat. At least that's kind of what I did. And at first, I really used it to motivate me. But then after a while, when I wasn't reaching like these milestones or when I had setbacks, I'd be like, man, like how are they able to do this and I'm not? Like what is different here? So the whole point of this is really just to show you that your setbacks can be what pushes you to keep going and can be that thing that just moves you forward even further than if you maybe didn't even have that setback. So I thought this quote that I put on here was very fitting for this topic. I'm sure you've all seen, if you scroll through Pinterest, this is all over Pinterest, but it's, the quote about the arrow. An arrow can only be shot by pulling it backward. So when life is dragging you back with difficulties, it means it's going to land to something great. So just keep aiming. And that is honestly the whole, the mindset that we all should have with coaching, because we're all starting our own businesses. We're all entrepreneurs, and the majority of us have no experience in that. So, there's going to be a lot of failures and a lot of things that set us back. But the main thing is that we just keep aiming towards those goals and keep focusing on those goals and moving forward. So that's how I wanted to start off this one. But we can go to the next slide. So just a little bit about me. Like I mentioned, I started coaching in March of 2014. At this point, I'm a 2-star lifetime coach. I'm 4-star combined. So what that means is that under my husband's account, I have 2 diamond coaches, which when I think back about that, that was kind of one of the things that I was like, dang, why did I do that? Signing up some of my active coaches under my husband. But it all works out in the end. So, it's all a learning curve with coaching. So, Just kind of want to put that in there. But anyway, I quit my full-time job to coach last July after the birth of my daughter. And that was one of my main goals when I first started coaching, or it was quickly my main goal, I should say, when I first started coaching, because when I had initially signed up, I was trying to lose the weight I had gained with my son, who was 1.5 years at the time. And within a first week, I just realized that this coaching thing was meant for me. I was really passionate about it. I saw a lot of potential with it. And that is what made me want to be a coach and move forward. So fast forward 2 years later, or 1.5 years later, I quit my job. And since then, I will say I have failed 1,000,001 times. I thought quitting my job would be like the Mecca. I would be just, my business would skyrocket and things would go from 0 to 100 real fast. And that was definitely not the case. There's still a big learning curve with that. So yeah, like I said, I failed 1,000,001 times. So the few rough patches that I've actually come across as a coach, this first one really, like, it sucked. And I didn't talk about it really with anybody, but I've never been a coach that's hit Success Club like 10, 15, 20 a lot.
Is she frozen for any of you guys? Or just me?
Yeah, she's frozen for me.
Oh, okay.
Am I
back?
You're back. Okay. So anyway, Success Club 5 was my jam, my whole coaching career for my first year. And I hit it consecutively. I didn't have a problem doing it. And then for some reason, that 12th month, I don't know if I let off the gas or what happened, but I didn't hit it. And it was my 12th month. And if I would have hit it that month, I would have been an all-star. So that right there, and at the time, I was pregnant, and, a lot going on in my own life. And so the motivation to keep that going was harder, just because being pregnant, obviously you're low on energy, you're more tired, and, there's a lot of different things that come into play. But when that happened, I just kind of like wanted to curl up in a ball. And the reason I felt that way was because I felt not only that I let myself down, but I let my team down too, because I want to be a leader on my team and show my coaches how important Success Club is. And, overall, it's a title that we have. But in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I'm trying to build this business and reach goals, and I didn't hit that. That really sucks. So that was my first really big setback. Then this last summer, 2 quarters ago, I was a 2-star diamond coach myself. I got my husband a 2-star, and literally the night before the quarterly bonus deadline to hit that bonus, I got us both to 2-star, and I thought I was good to go. And I somehow overlooked that he needed 10 more PV points for him to be diamond that next day. And so we both missed the quarterly bonus, my husband and myself, which would have been like over $2,000 at that time, and a bonus. So that really, really sucked. And, it was one of those moments where, like, I just had to take a day and just kind of think about things. And, I wanted to kind of play the blame game partially, but at the same time, it's one of those things where you just have to take a step back, look at the situation, and look what you can do to grow from it or learn from it. For myself, it was more or less just being more aware of my business. This is a business. I quit my job for it. And to miss something like that or overlook something so ridiculous as 10 personal volume points was just a thorn in my side at the time. But it's a learning experience now, because I know that moving forward, I'll never miss that. But it's also something I can help my coaches and my team with too. So, and then another thing I just want to throw in there is that I've been kind of like stagnant at this 2-star rank since last May when I got it. So it's almost been a year now. So, I wanted to put this out there for people that, might see myself on, social media. I post a lot, and, I have been successful with my business, but I've also had so many setbacks to get myself there. I don't know if you've seen that graphic or that meme when it's like the life of an entrepreneur and it's just this big roller coaster. That's exactly what this is. But the main thing is to keep focusing on your goals and keep aiming towards your goals, because if you do, you will get there. It might be tough at times, but if you keep that in the forefront of your mind, it will help you through these rough patches and keep pushing you forward. We can go to the next slide. So basically, after I kind of gave myself a little pity party for a little bit, this was mostly after I missed that bonus qualification. I just needed to snap out of it, you guys. I kept thinking about like, okay, I can focus on all the negative that is with this, or, play the blame game, or, stop doing my 3 vital behaviors because I don't feel like it. But really, in the big scheme of things, it would really, really suck to say that my business tanked because I didn't want to like read personal development one day, or I didn't want to invite a couple people one day, which takes like a few minutes, so I kept thinking of that in my mind. And even like, say like, oh my gosh, my daughter kept me up all night. I don't feel like doing anything today. How stupid would it be to be like, well, I wasn't successful because my daughter didn't get a good night's sleep one night. Like, I kept thinking of things that way. So that I didn't think that, focus on, I guess, the poor me type of thing. I wanted to turn that around, that mindset around, and just say, okay, like if I can get through whatever I just got through, I can keep getting through these things that are setting me back, and hopefully turn it around. So playing the comparison game, just don't do it. I have a lot of coaches that I've talked to personally that have said, oh my gosh, I see so-and-so is doing this, or, blah, blah, blah. But you cannot do that, you guys. We all have our own journey with this. We all have different lives. We all have things in our lives that come up. And we just got to get through them. And we just got to focus on, like I said, your goal with this business. Because if you do that, the rest of the stuff doesn't matter. You'll get through it because you've already been through so much to get to this point. There's no reason that you should be turning back because of a setback. So that's the mindset that I kept telling myself, which led me to unfollow the top coaches that I was following, because it's like all you see is that success over and over again. But what you don't know or don't remember is that they've been doing this 3 to 5 years already. And I haven't been. So of course they're going to be further along than me. So I decided to stop following them. I reevaluated my why, because I think as I've been coaching, it's definitely evolved. When I first signed up, it was about wanting to help other mothers feel great like I was feeling great. That's awesome. And that's still part of the reason why I do this, but it's not the only reason. And it can't be the only reason. Like, we're all here to help people, of course. We all want that, and we all want to focus on that. But there has to be more skin in the game than that. Focus on your life. What do you want to change about it? For me, I wanted to quit my job. And I was able to do that, but now I have to maintain that. Like, if I go backwards, like, I have to go back to work, and I do not want to do that. So I reevaluated that portion of it. I think about, my husband and his job and how I want him to be able to quit his job too. So that's kind of where my why evolved. So taking the time to do that, even if you have to take like a day or so to really think about it and really just like get down to the core of why you're doing this, it's so totally worth it, because it just kind of reignites that spark. I talk to a lot of coaches too about, when we first sign up, we're so excited and we're so motivated and the sky's the limit. And, we want to dig in and do everything right now. But then that kind of fizzles out because it doesn't happen overnight. And things always don't come easy. And when we think they should, because it seems like it did for somebody else, that's just not the case. So, reevaluating your why and having that in the forefront of your mind will get you through those tough patches. And personal development. That's one thing that I, in the beginning, was very lax on. But as I dig into this coaching gig more and more and keep moving forward with it, personal development is huge, you guys, because it doesn't happen overnight. We have to have that confidence, and we have to keep that motivation going. And we have to learn about ourselves too, because we have to constantly be growing as leaders so that our team can follow in our footsteps. So personal development is another thing that really helped me snap out of it. And then just talking about it with, my husband or, my friends or my mom, just talking about my goals with this and letting them kind of be like, Devon, you're an idiot for thinking, that whatever, like just snap out of it. You're doing fine. Just move forward. So being open and talking about it really helped for me. And like I said, just remembering how you felt when you started, get that back, get that motivation and that spark back. So what I did is I thought back to when I started and what motivated me. And it was listening to like the National Wake Up Call, every single Monday at that time, instead of putting it off until later in the week, or hopping on like Melanie's Dream Team calls and listening to those like crazy successful coaches talk about how they got there, which I found that very motivating. So doing things like that for me is what helped me snap out of it. And then just looking at my team, as you get into this, you have people that kind of rely on you to keep going and to keep leading, and to keep showing them that it is possible. So I don't know, all that kind of wrapped into one really helped me snap out of it. And it's something that, I'm not going to lie, I have to do every couple months, is just kind of take a step back and kind of just reignite myself. Because like I said, this business is a lot of ups and downs, but the ones that stick with it and don't give up are the ones that prosper. It's just the way it is. So we can go to the next slide. So what I kind of do too when I'm feeling maybe overwhelmed, lack of motivation, or just don't really know where to start after I've kind of fizzled out for a little bit, I just go back to the basics, you guys. Beachbody does such a good job at laying out exactly what we need to do to be successful. I mean, not only corporate, but even the coaches, that are, like Melanie Mitchell or Alyssa or Marsha, all those coaches, all we do is preach the 3 vital behaviors, you guys. And if you do those things first, you'll be good. So I think, as you get into coaching, you see, okay, well, I need to start a blog, or I need to be on Twitter, or I need to start making videos. That coach is so successful, but they're doing all this stuff. I have to do it too. That's great when you can do it. But if you're in a funk, focusing on all that stuff can just be like, oh my gosh, like, how am I ever going to make it? Like, I don't know what I'm doing here. So that's when I just kind of bring myself back down to the ground and say, all right, focus on what you can do really well. For me, it's posting on Facebook. Instagram, I'm okay with. It's mostly just Facebook. And, I do really well with my team. The 3 vital behaviors, inviting personal development, getting my workout in, sharing about that. That's pretty much it. And then just asking for help. I started reaching out, and because I'm in a group for the national, or the leader conference. So I've been just kind of posting in there, just saying, hey, like, I'm struggling in this area. Is there anyone else out there that is? What did you do? So don't be afraid to share those struggles and show that, because for one, it shows you're human. And it kind of shows your team too that you're growing along with them, and that we're all going through these same things and we can relate. So don't be afraid to do that. And I wanted to throw this quote in here too. Don't be afraid to start over. It's a brand new opportunity to rebuild what you truly want. That is so true with this, because like I said, your why is going to evolve. The reasons why you're doing this is going to evolve. Sometimes it's easy to get wrapped up in things you should be doing, but if you really take a step back and focus on where you want yourself to go and where you want your team to go, you can start building on that anytime you want. I think knowing that and keeping that too in the forefront of my mind. Did you just lose me, or can you hear me?
You're back. You were
okay. My little thing popped up on my screen. But focusing on what you truly want for yourself and your team is huge, and it's exciting, and you have the ability to do whatever you want. So that is kind of freeing. There's no expectations. There's nobody there saying you did it wrong. It's just all you. So kind of keeping that in my mind too really helped push me past that little funk that I was in. But yeah, we can go to the next slide. So moving forward, envision your life the way that you want it to be. For me, I'm a very big visual person. So having that dream board on my desktop background on my computer and seeing that every day really helps me. And I update it every couple months because, like I said, my whys change, my goals change. Sometimes if I don't hit a goal, I have to come back and say, okay, am I honestly putting in the work that I need to put in to get there? And sometimes it's no, sometimes it's yes. And when it's no, it sucks. But then that gives me a chance to reevaluate it and make a new game plan. So, think about your dream board. Think of where you want to see your team going, and then match that. You can't say, I want my team to be here, but you're not doing what you need to make it get there. So, like I said, be realistic about the work that it'll take to get there. Lay out your priorities and make sure that they're getting done every single day. And that's just my game plan from here on out. I'm definitely not a perfect coach. I definitely have made millions of mistakes. I'm still making mistakes. But it's a learning curve, and having that mindset and just being open to change and to learning new things is going to keep moving you forward. So don't feel like you have to be some cookie cutter coach or do things perfectly every single time. I think the mistakes and the failures really build the momentum for reaching the success that we can have with this opportunity. So, and they're just going to make your team more just stronger in general, because you've gone through it and they can learn from it and you can pass that along. And if you view it that way, there's nothing that can hold your team back. So that's pretty much it. You can go to the next slide. All right, so I'll just end it on this quote here too. There will be obstacles, there will be doubters, there will be mistakes, but with hard work, there are no limits. And that is literally like the mantra of Beachbody, really, because it's all hard work. It's all hard work and dedication. And if we can stick to doing what we have to do each and every day, anybody can be successful in this business. So I just wanted to throw that in there, but I'm open to any questions if anybody has them.
So you did such a good job, Devon. Ashley was going to join us tonight and she wasn't able to make it. So I had some slides prepared too, and I did them before I saw yours. So I can whiz through mine, but there's going to be some overlap if you guys want to hear more. All right. So you mentioned a few things that I want to touch on too. The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster is a book I would highly recommend if you have not read that one yet. Has anyone already read that? Show of hands, no? So add that to your guys' list. What Devon talked about, the successes and the pendulum of success and failure. The very first summit that I went to, I think it was Darren Hardy. Yeah, he's the author of Compound Effect. His presentation was just so perfect for my very first summit. I was a pretty new coach. I was a 1-star diamond. And he talked about the pendulum swing from failure to success. So the only way to have great success is to also have great failure. And it really opened my eyes. It's like, you know what? That's so true. And I was so new still in the business where I didn't really see, I couldn't relate to it as much as I do now, looking back. So Devon was talking about some failures earlier on in her business. I had my fair share too. You're talking about Success Club. There was 1 month, and I don't know where it was. It was probably like month 12, who knows, where I didn't hit Success Club 10. So I missed out on the Success Club 10 All-Star because of 1 month not hitting that goal. And it was the month that I built my husband's account to Diamond. So it was right after the cruise, my first Beachbody Rewards trip. Being on the cruise, I realized and recognized that I had totally gotten complacent in my business. I stopped growing. I got myself to Diamond, and I stopped looking forward to what's next and stopped having that growth mentality in my business, my organization. So I got back after the cruise, after having conversations with other coaches. It's like, why am I not building my husband to Diamond? Like, that's just stupid. So I got back and I did it in like a week and a half or 2 weeks. But because I was building his account up, I didn't do enough activity to also support myself getting to Success Club 10 that month. So that was a huge blow when I realized that was the month I missed that goal. And then also I went an entire year from my first summit being a 1-star diamond coach. That following year, our team achieved elite. I added a lot of new diamond coaches to our organization. But that year also we lost a lot of diamonds. So I think I sponsored 4 new and I lost like 3. So the following year I was the same rank, from summit to summit. Even though on paper I was like 6-star lifetime, in my coach on office, I was not a 6-star, I was a 1-star. So, it's hard to look back and like, man, 1 whole year, like Devon, I can totally relate. It's like a whole year went by and I didn't grow my business. But, it's like what happens on the coach in office, what you see there, that rank does not equate to your own personal growth. It doesn't equate to your value or your worth. So, your rank does not define your worth. So again, just focusing on the daily activities, the vitals of personal development is really what helped me kind of pull through and just be like, you know what? I recognize that I made some mistakes in my business. I stopped kind of focusing on my own recruiting goals and my own personal growth and tried to help my team more than I was helping my own business. So I kind of went into management mode. And that's kind of a common thing that happens as we grow our teams, because we get really excited. We start adding all these working coaches, and we want to help them. We want to give them everything that they need to succeed with their goals. But at the same time, you have to continue doing the things that got you there in the first place. So you can't disregard, your power hour and recruiting and everything like that. So, all right. I kind of pinpointed 7 strategies to help you bounce back after a missed goal, because we've all been there. Like Devon said, it's what makes us human. Some goals are there to push us and to motivate us, knowing that, if it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world. We just look at what we can learn from it and move forward. So I want you to think about scheduling your habits into your life. So just like our customers starting up a new fitness program, we tell them, pick a time of the day you're going to do your workouts. The same as with your business. Brand new coaches, pick a day, have business hours. When are you going to work your business? Just like when you're going to push play on your DVD player, it has to be routine and regimented like that, because you're forming all these new habits and new routines by coaching, okay? And then stick to your schedule even in small ways. So you do what you can, right? Have someone who expects something of you, focus on what you can work with, determine what went wrong. Just because it's not optimal doesn't mean it's not going to help you out. Design your environment for success and care. All right, so we're going to talk about each one of those. All right, scheduling your habits into your life. So choose a specific space in your life. So putting it on your calendar. Last week we talked about the Google Doc or the Google Calendar. I love that it sends me alerts, 30 minutes before I have something on my calendar. I get an alert on my desktop. It's like, okay, this is coming up. Okay, I better finish up what I'm doing now so that I, stay on track and do this coming next. Tie your current behavior by establishing your business activities as routine. Like I said, just like a workout, we have a designated time that we do that every day. We should also have a designated time every day that we work our business and work our power hour. I love to do this, and some of you guys might think I'm weird for this, but I have triggers for certain activities. So like on my smartphone, I have alerts set. So if I like the 3-day refresh, I have alerts set when I eat my meals. I have a reminder to be confident at 9 a.m. every morning. It goes off. I have at 7 a.m. I subscribe to the Darren Daily. So I get a text message from him every morning, 7 a.m. It's just short, like 5-minute motivational video, kind of sets my day right. So I look forward to that every morning. I have an alarm set for my power hour on my phone. So I have to physically go and turn it off. Like, okay, that's my trigger. Sit down and get busy. All right. Stick to your schedule even in small ways. So make the commitment to yourself that you're going to keep going. When you have those failures, depending on what it was, it can be a hard blow, right? It hurts. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It can hurt. So you just have to decide that, you know what, you are stronger than this. You're not going to let this get you back. You're going to use it to propel you forward, like the arrow, even going forward even stronger. It's not the individual impact of missing your schedule or activities, but the cumulative impact of repeatedly missing over time. So the compound effect, right? The compound effect works in both ways. If you do an activity, X number of days, 365 days out of the year, or if you don't do it, it works both ways. So you want to think about that and just get back on track as soon as you can. And again, like what Devon said, focus on the basics. Doing something is better than being paralyzed and doing nothing at all. So a lot of times I'll talk to coaches after a failure and be like, I don't even know what to do. Like I am, I'm overwhelmed. I have so many things I need to do. I don't know where to start. And I always tell them, the 3 vital behaviors: focus on you, get yourself in a good place, read some personal development, do a good workout, get a good sweat, and do that for a few days. And before you know it, you're going to be back on your feet and you're going to be ready to go. Have someone who expects something of you. So an accountability partner, right? So take the time to find an appropriate success partner. It's kind of like dating, and you want to ideally find someone outside your team. So someone that you don't personally know or have a relationship with already, because that person is going to be able to be blunt with you and be honest with you and say, you know what, I don't know if you want to do this, or, maybe we should do it this way instead. Or, I haven't seen you posting on social media in 2 days. Where are you? So you want to have a good relationship with that person and someone who aligns with your goals also. So even though, maybe you have a lot of similarities in your personal life, but your goals, business goals, have to match for you to be a good partner, so that you can goal set together and just keep each other accountable and keep each other going. And then also have someone whose strengths and weaknesses complement yours. And then define your accountability system. So I talked to my success partner every other day for sure, if not every day. We do weekly calls just to, again, she keeps me on track. I keep her on track. We complement each other's strengths. We talk a lot about recruiting, just recruiting strategies. That's kind of what we work mostly together with on. But you want to have a relationship with, and it's okay to change partners too. I started out with an entirely different person. It didn't work out like Devon said, your goals change, very frequently. So, her growth wasn't the same. It wasn't matching mine. And so we had to kind of break up, and I found someone else who was more suitable. All right. Just because it's not optimal doesn't mean it's not beneficial. So a lot of times people think that things that they do have to be perfect. Like, I want to start a blog. I'm not going to publish it until it's perfectly how I want it. Or I'm not going to publish my like page until it looks exactly how I want it. You know what? Like, progress is in the practice is in the performance. So you learn and get better by doing it. If you wait for perfection, it probably won't happen. Probably a lot of us can say, yeah, I waited way too long for that. I just should have done it right away. All right. So don't worry about perfection. With social media, everything can be deleted and changed and reworked. Like my Instagram, my earlier pictures were just a hot mess. I had no idea what I was doing. And I've gone back and deleted some of those. And even my profile picture when I first got on Facebook, because I didn't have a smartphone, it was like a regular camera phone that I flipped around. It's embarrassing to see those old pictures. So you can go back and delete anything that you don't want on your social media. But master the basics and learn as you grow. So I think a lot of times, especially in the diamond advancement, people get intimidated by the title or the rank diamond, because they, at that point, know that they're seen as a leader and they have a team to manage and a team to help with their goals. And people fall back because they are not maybe emotionally ready to take on that leadership role. The thing is, you are part of the number one team. You have all these resources to help you out. And it's really, you're just adding coaches the same as you do when you're an emerald. And you learn those skills as you go through your personal development, through team trainings, whatever it is. So again, just master the basics, and then you'll learn the rest as you go. And don't reinvent the wheel. Success leaves clues. Use what tools are available to you and then customize them as you go. I went back actually and started reworking the coach basics in our Coach Online office. And it is a ton of information. It's good information. It's good content, but I want it to be more personal. So I just add my own personal touch in there. I do my own videos, just to make it a little bit more relatable to my coaches that I onboard. But the tools are there for us. We just have to plug into them and use them. Design your environment for success. So that and I always think of the senses. You see, hear, feel, touch, smell on a daily basis will impact your habits. So where do you have your dream board? Is it visible? Do you look at it every day? And these are just some random thoughts that I had, any signage, motivational signage in your workspace. Are you organized? Is your desk a hot mess, or is it organized in a place that you want to sit down and work? Do you have distractions when you're trying to work your power hour, or do you do it at a time where you hopefully can minimize distractions? Who do you surround yourself with? Your friends, your family, are they people that support you to your goals and are also motivating you? Your success partner, people on your team page, that's the awesome thing about Beachbody is we have total control over the people that we surround ourselves with, your timeline. So think about that. Who do you talk to, the most? Those are going to be the people that have the most influence on you. And probably the most important thing is just to care, really dig into your why and care about why you're doing this. No matter what failure you would have in your life or in your business, if you want it bad enough, and if you have that deep why that makes you cry, you're going to do no matter what it takes to get back on track and to just keep pushing through it and plugging for it. I work this business for my family, for my kids. Like Devon said, it was for our whole family. We were deep into debt. We couldn't pay our bills. We had no savings. He was working, an hour away. We never saw him. I was basically a single mom with 4 young kids at home. And now our why has changed. He wants to leave his job and be a full-time potter and have his own home business. So that's why I'm working so hard now. And it's always going to evolve. And it's to provide experiences for my kids. It was amazing to take Aiden and Anna to the beach last month with the rewards trip. I can't even tell you, just seeing, we have Aiden on video of his first flight, and it was just having him next to me in that seat is just something I can't even explain, because travel was one thing that I never allowed myself to even think about or dream about because we could never afford it. And as we had kids, it's like, well, that'll never happen now because we can't afford 6 plane tickets. And to be in this position where it's just so life-changing to be able to provide experiences like that for my family, it keeps pushing me every day to do what I do. So, and just some quotes. I have not failed yet. I've just found 10,000 ways that don't work. Like Devon, there's a lot of famous quotes around failures. Success is the ability to go from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. Failure is the only opportunity to begin again, only this time more wisely. Our greatest glory is not in ever failing, but in rising every time we fail. In order to succeed, your desire for success should be greater than your fear of failure. So those are just some of the top ones that stuck out at me. So at this point, I'm going to end the screen share. And then if you guys have any, I would love to hear about maybe failures that you've had in your business and how it has impacted you going forward. If we could do that, that would be amazing. If anyone has anything that they want to share.
I can share.
Awesome.
I more recently had like a family member that really kind of like, I don't know, she was like super into Beachbody and actually was a challenger of mine to begin with. And then like all of a sudden got really mad at me and didn't want me to talk about it, didn't want me to talk to any of her friends about it that were interacting with me. It was really strange, and it really set me back. And I really like dwelled on that for a while, but I think like finally I'm just over it and just moving on and not worrying about it anymore.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for sharing that. It can be hard when it's family, for sure. All right, I'm having a hard time. What are you guys seeing right now? I'm trying to find how to end the screen share, and I can't find where it went.
I can still see your slides.
Crap, where did that go? I might not be able to end our meeting tonight. So I can't find where it went. Who has something else? Anybody else?
I guess I could say like when I first started, when I signed up and wasn't real sure what I was doing with the coaching thing at first last fall, I wasn't putting everything into it. I was only doing some of the things. I wasn't being consistent, and I didn't realize how important that was and how much a difference that could make until I had my push at Christmas time, when it was our second Christmas in a row where we were completely broke because it was a transition period between my husband's contracting and snow plowing jobs. And I realized if I wanted to make a go of this business that I actually needed to get on a roll and start doing everything every day. And I hit Success Club 16 January and February because I just like went all out. And now this month I'm at 4 right now. But I've also learned from watching other coaches too that, had really great months, and then they just had a couple rough months that they stayed consistent and kept going, and now that's snowballing for them too. So that gives me a push to say like, okay, even if this month is rough and I don't get to diamond like I wanted to, if I keep talking to people and keep doing my daily vitals, it'll snowball and take effect too. You just got to stay consistent.
Exactly.
I know for me this month, I had been at Success Club 6 probably, like mid-month I got there, and then actually yesterday had a customer return a whole package and got 2 points taken away this morning. And I kind of had backed off on the inviting because we have big plans for a group in April. And I already thought I already thought I had hit my success club. So this morning I kind of scrambled to sign somebody up. But if I would have kept going and probably gotten higher, I wouldn't have had to worry about that. So lesson learned, don't back off.
Yep. One thing that I love to do is I have a dry erase board next to my desk. And I love to chart like how I did every month. So like how many coaches I enrolled, how many successful points I had. And then the next month I try to get a person, I try to do better, like by one person, try to do better. And that way I'm not competing with other coaches. And like, it's really easy to do to get into the comparing and like I should be further along than I am and all that. But your own competition is yourself and your own motivation is yourself. Everyone has our own business, which is really cool about how the compensation is. And this business is so awesome that you're in complete control, right? So try to use your own activities as motivation for you to do better the following month and not look at other people. So that really, it helped me because I'm very competitive by nature. So it's really easy for me to look at other people, but it's like, you know what? Nope. I just got to focus on what I can do, right? In my controllables. So.
I had a failure. I mean, I don't know if it was a failure this month, but it kind of set me back on I really already have a hard time not asking, but suggesting or inviting people to be a coach, like an active working coach. I have no problem signing people up to be discount coaches. That seems to be really easy for me, but I have a really hard time of actually getting somebody to want to work the business. And when I first started, I had a really good friend that had agreed to work the business after a few months. And then out of the blue, she blocked me as a friend. And I had known that she was trying to help another friend of hers out with becoming a coach and that she was promoting her posts and stuff like that. But she said that she was just helping her out. And it seems to turn out that she decided to become a working coach with her and blocked me as a friend on Facebook and hasn't returned any of my messages. And it was really hard that day. It was a really hard day because I've known her for a long time, and I had no clue if it was something that I did or if it was just all her. But it was just really hard and kind of set me back on even how to even request or ask somebody to work this with me and share this opportunity and this lifestyle with me if I can't even get a good friend to keep her word and do it.
She wasn't meant for your team. It's hard. I was kind of on the flip end of that. I had been working with a customer for a long time, and we talked about coaching because she was a blog writer, and I just saw a lot of potential in her, and single mom. I just thought this would be the perfect solution for her. She was struggling financially. So she went to a Super Saturday at my request. I'm like, Super Saturdays this weekend, go learn about coaching. You should go to this one that's local to you. Well, she signed up under a different coach at that Super Saturday event. And I found out, she didn't block me or anything, but then, she was starting posting about Shakeology on her blog and stuff. I was like, I messaged her. I'm like, what's going on? Did you sign up to be a coach? And she got really quiet. She's like, well, yeah. And it was really awkward. And so it was someone who was a brand new coach. And, I don't know, they just, signed her up. She didn't really know what she was doing. And so she did feel really bad about it because she basically told me she was going to sign on my team. So she switched to me, but you know what, it didn't work out anyway. So it's she, worked the business for maybe 2 months, if that, and just, it wasn't a good fit. So it's when things like that happen, those disappointments, you just got to have faith that, you know what, it wasn't going to be a good fit. It wasn't, someone who is going to be a good teammate of mine to have on my team, and just go and find the dream team that you want to build for yourself. But I mean, having it be a good friend of yours, I'm sure was a hard blow, and I can't imagine what that would feel like. But, I know it just wasn't meant to be. Maybe she'll come back around. I don't know. Maybe, the coach she signed up with, maybe it won't work out, and she'll be like, you know what, I feel bad and sorry it didn't work out. Take me back, please. Right? Make it happen. All right, anybody else? Was this helpful tonight to kind of hear other people's kind of struggles? And, everyone, whether you started yesterday or you've been a coach for 3 years, we all go through the same stuff, guys. We all have coaches who quit. We all have customers who are really hard to work with and we cannot help them no matter what. We all, have to work hard at hitting Success Club and hitting Success in 10 and hitting our goals. So, we're no different than anybody else in this business. Everybody has the tools that they need to succeed. It's just a matter of, are you willing to figure things out and push through those failures and also experience the opposite, both sides of the pendulum, and just recognize that, what, it makes me human. I'm going to have failures and it's not the end of the world. It's just, a teaching moment. I can learn from it and move forward and do things differently, going forward. So anyways, with that, I know you guys are all busy. Thank you so much for your time tonight. I'd love to see your faces in person rather than just your Facebook profiles. So if you have any questions after you, think about this for a minute, go ahead and post on our team page. We'd love to help you through anything that you have going on. So thank you, Devon, for your
thanks
tonight. It was fun to have you.
Thanks, Devon.
Yeah,
See you
guys.
Saturday night.
Thanks for listening. See ya.